Welcome back, everybody, here to your Razer Academy video when we go into our next week of LearnDOTA. I am your host, as always, TobiWanKenobi, coming to you from the studio of the defense, Razer's own tournament. Well, Razer shares it with BenQ, but it's still a big tournament. Big thanks to Razer for sponsoring that one. But the Razer Academy is where you guys who watch the defense are able to go, you know what, Razer, you're giving us a tournament, but how do we understand the game? It's the reason for the Razer Academy, so you guys, as gamers, are able to understand what is going on your screens. This time around, I'm going to go with a hero as another hero focus, and we're looking at a hero that has been appearing in so many games of late. Now, this is a hero who is a calculation hero. This is a hero which you've got to get down to the very last mana point to know exactly what you need out of him. This is Tinker. Tinker is a hero that will push through anywhere on the map without you even realizing, because he'll be there, he'll do his damage, and then he'll jump back out again. So we're going to look at him very, very closely. Also, for those guys wondering why we have no question time at the start, if you do have a question, please leave it in the comment section below, be it on the YouTube channel of Cult of Razer, or over on the Razer Academy website. Main reason why I'm not doing questions is because this is one of these pre-prepared videos in case you have a video drought. I go off to an event or something like that. We're going to say ourselves a little bit ahead of the 8-ball over here at the Razer Academy. But let's jump ourselves inside the wonderful world of DOTA 2, and we can take my ugly mug off the screen for this time around, and we will look at our hero. It is this little guy here. It is Tinker. Obviously, we're doing another bot game, so we'll just resume it up again so the bots can go have that little bit of fun. We don't really care about that for now. This is the man here. So we're looking at Tinker. This guy here is one of the best aggressive heroes anywhere on the map. He requires one major item to destroy most people, or to destroy most teams' control of the map. Now, you look at this lineup from the Dire side, which the bots have assigned them, and it is the worst possible lineup to have against a Tinker. And the main reason for this is, well, Tinker loves it when people are all single focus and nothing can push against him, because he is such an elusive little devil. Now, we're going to go through each ability to start with, and then we'll look into his item build. So let's look at ability by ability and see just exactly what kind of presence it gives to the lane. First ability from Tinker, welcome to the laser. So, miss rate 100%. This is great against heroes who are trying to right-click you. Dwarf and Sniper on the Dire side will have a really hard time with this one, because he is an agi hero, and all he wants to do is right-click me. But you laser him, you do 80 damage on the first level, 320 on the later level, and it's pure damage as well. Another thing to keep in mind, there's pure damage, so magic resistance won't help you, neither will your normal strength. So that is the trouble when it comes to laser and when you're going up against that one. So it's great instant burst damage and missed chances to come out on your opposition, which means you can normally get yourself away and out of trouble. So that is going to be your laser ability. Good nuke, best thing to look at. Second ability, welcome to the heat-seeking missile. This is magical damage now. So this you can find a resistance to. Get yourself a Planeswalker's cloak, a hood, or maybe even a pipe if your team has managed to pick that up already. Both the second and third ability are both magical. So pipe or some form of magical resistance is generally a very big key thing when you're going up against a Tinker. So you got two targets at any level. As a standard card thing, you will fire off 2 rockets no matter what. Damage increases 100, 175, 250, 325. So a 75 damage increase with every single level up, which is pretty freaking decent. And it's heroes, visible heroes, in range of 2,500. So I'll show you that in a moment. Third thing is March the Machines. March the Machines, huge robotic army which will just fly over the top of any way you wish to cast it, and this disintegrates anything which basically hits the March machine. Well, not disintegrates, it's the damage. So with the robotic minions, they're almost like suicide minions. They run in there and they will disintegrate, they will blow up on top of anything they find, and that is the best counter pusher really in the game right now, and also the greatest team fight control, because while this does damage to your opposition, it doesn't do damage to you. And this means you can fight within the March of the Machines, and the opponents generally will not want to. And last ability is Rearm. Now this is what makes Tinker Tinker. This is what makes Tinker one of the most annoying heroes in the bloody game of DOTA 2. And I'm going to show you the reason why. Even before I activate WTF mode, which we'll do in a moment, so then we can play around with the abilities a little bit more and show you this one, I'm going to show you a reason why Tinker is hated. Now we're going to level him up to 25. So we'll take all of these levels,
Missing top.
And we can play around this one. So we'll go with his item build. Now this is the thing which most tinkers will rush, and you already see there is the core items: magic wand and boots of travel. Your core items right now for Tinker. BTs are something you always want. So your normal build you try and build to, you can start off in multiple ways. If you're going to go solo mid, most of the time you actually get yourself a bottle. So you just go for a bottle, 600 gold. This takes a little bit of time to get to. So you don't always manage to get a bottle as you'll never get a bottle as you're starting out. You don't have enough gold for it, basically. But you can go for other items which will let you fill in the gap. So you look for your magic wand early on, so you have your normal ironwood branches, and you can go pretty well like 3 ironwood branches and maybe a set of tangos. And that'll let you live long enough that you can rush up a bottle, and that's when you go a solo mid-tinker. So at this point, we've got Crystal Maiden in the middle lane because I didn't go there as the tinker. They're like, well, he must be going there. But as mid-tinker, you're able to pick up these runes, refresh a bottle up, and let you control that middle lane pretty damn well. So let's, let me just double check something as well. Yeah, we're good. All right, so bottle, first item we normally want to go with, and let's just buy up some BTs as well. So I want some gold. Give me that much. Yeah, that'll work. So we go boots of travel.
Time to reboot and kick butt.
Now this is the fun thing. Let me just show you what rearm is capable of doing. So we're going to BT back to base. Very small TP. Hello, we're back. My boots of travel is now on cooldown. Whoa is my life kind of thing right now. How do I get past this? My R ability, my ultimate, rearm. Boots are now off cooldown. This is where Tinker becomes a douchebag, because this is what he's capable of doing. So let's look up at this top lane. We've got Juggernaut up here, Lionel bot and Monty bot's up here too. So I'm going to TP myself onto this range creep at the back end. So all I'm going to do is come up, laser. Okay, that almost got a kill. And then rockets. I still got a decent mana pool as well, but I can now rearm again. And if I had vision of these guys, I can pop off another rocket. But I've still got mana. So go march the machines. And what have I still got? Let me just rearm again. Rearm. Another set of march the machines. And now I'm out of mana. Bottle charge 1, and I can TP back to base. Only costs me 75 mana to jump back to base. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll head back to base, and you can keep doing this. And while you're back in base, a small little tip if you want to try and regen faster and you've got a bottle, just keep spamming up your bottle button. Because the bottle will still have its effect inside of here, and it'll increase your regeneration back at base. So spamming your bottle back in here, and it doesn't empty your bottle at all. It takes 1 charge away and you instantly get it back, because the fountain is what fills up your bottle. So life is pretty simple when it comes to that. Now I'm back at base, and I rearm. Couple of bottle charges and I'm good. One thing which some tinkers do like to go with, if they're not going to go for that bottle build, and they go for a little bit more, I want to stand in the lane kind of build, you can go for a soul ring. So a soul ring costs you 800 gold. It costs you, well, Ring of Regen, Sage's Mask, as well as a recipe. So we'll buy one of these little guys, and I'll show you how you can use a soul ring build instead. So let's, again, TP in towards middle lane. Hello, Francesco bot. I am now here, so we can laser, we can rocket, and I go, well, I want to get this mana back again. And let me just spam up a couple more abilities. So we'll just rearm, march again, and you just keep on popping this off. Now, I got 40 gold. I need mana desperately. I'm getting ganked. What do? I then hit G. Soul Ring gives me my short amount of mana, and that lets me TP back to base. And then I go back through my whole regeneration thing again. And this is where Tinker gets his power when it comes to split pushing. Because no matter where you are on the map, Tinker can go, awesome, great, there's engagement on the bottom lane. Let me just quickly rearm, couple of charges, and I'm going to TP down towards the bottom lane. Hankbot's still sticking around, so now we go rocket, we go laser, we can rearm again. All I need is a little bit of extra vision, and I'll pop another set of rockets off. And that's the Earthshaker dead. Or should have been dead. But I can't really tell, because now I can't see him. So I've got the thing again. I just also realized I'm a little bit short of mana. Need a rearm. And I've actually got my calculation right now, because I didn't need rearm. Just TP back to base, and I'm fine. And you just do this all over again. So when you tinker, you can just keep doing this. And the higher your mana pool gets, the better it gets for you too, because you don't have to go back as often as you do. So let's just rearm, and I'm going to get one of these items which Tinker absolutely loves. Now, TPing top, I'm not really here for this. Now you can go the early game items. In fact, we probably should go our early game items. So let me just pick one of these guys up. I'm going to have to force these guys back to grab it. Now, I'm going to show you the Dendi build. This is the build which Dendi and most Tinkers these days are going with. Just going to force these guys back a little bit. And it is, where is my Blink Dagger? Why are you not in my list?
Blink dagger.
Here we go, Blink Dagger.
Indeed.
Now, why, you ask, should this work for Tinker? It makes no sense. Hey, let me just blink,
I can't
rearm, and look. Hey, look, Blink Dagger is affected. Would you believe it? So you can chase down so easily. Your positional play is so easy to do, and normally you also combine it with a 4-staff. So here's our 4-staff. More item with a Staff of Wizardry, so plus 10 intelligence, and gives you a little bit of right-click damage. But more importantly, well, just ignore Soul Ring now. In fact, let's get rid of Soul Ring. We don't need it. We'll rearm, get our mana back again.
here.
And now we'll go down towards our bottom lane. So I want to come down here. I initially want to initiate. Nice little fissure.
I can't wait.
Managed to rearm as well out of that. And they put Nightmare on top of me. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic.
Well,
But if I want to catch up right now, double click my 4-staff, blink up as well, and I got Laser up my sleeve as well. So you can chase down so damn easily, but it also works in a different way. So we'll just pop a Portal Charge off again. So what if I do come in and I'm in over my head? Now this happens to the best of us. What happens if I'm in over my head? So I can cast my Martial Machines and then go, hang on, I'm about to die. I am about to die, what am I supposed to do? I 4-star myself inside the trees, and I double click to TP myself back to base. So by the time I end back here, I'm fine. But by the time they can catch up to me, I am long, long gone, just because you're that far away. Now we're going to look through a couple of other items too while we're playing around with Tinker. And this is going to be our tier 3 items. Now, you got Shiva's Guard and you got Sight the Vice. Now, this is going to be very dependent on your situation. If you want to go for a counter push, Tinker, then this is what you want to go. You want to go your Shiva's Guard.
rearming.
Let's just rearm ourselves a little bit, and we'll jump up towards the top lane. So I want to get myself in here. I just realized I got myself caught in the trees, but it doesn't matter. And I want to use a Mystic Staff. And this completes my Shiva's Guard.
Shiva? Indeed.
Now, Shiva's Guard is great for counter pushing. And this is the reason why. Let's just rearm. Actually, no, we're fine. We can just walk here.
Missing top.
Really? Seriously? That was the first blood?
Last of my kind, but first in
Absolutely.
this.
Now, I saw you last week during the LearnDOTA video. Just what you can do for counter pushing, how fast you can do it. Because we're talking about SK last time around. So what do you want to do when you go Shiva's Guard?
Proceed.
Shiva's Guard pops off. Sure, I do a little bit of damage. But hey, look, I can rearm,
This for
and I can do it all over again. So we pop March the Machines.
Missing top.
Creep Wave's going to be here as well. And I pop the Shiva's Guard. And I demolish a decent amount of the light points out from that Creep Wave. March Machine takes care of the rest. So it's a fast way to nuke down the Creep Wave, and even Windrunner's helping me out just there. Realizing, wait, maybe my Tinker has like enough pushing power as it is.
Are you
So we'll go down that lines. So now I want to go for my little shop. Get myself caught a little bit more, but doesn't really matter. And we're going to look at his next item. So that's going to be Sight the Vice. Really?
proceed?
Easy to kill. All right, so I want to look at Sight the Vice. So Sight the Vice, I need an Ultimate Orb, I need a Void Stone. So let's get rid of this little sucker. I don't need my bottle anymore. I'll pick up those little guys, and let's get back to base. So now we're back here. Sight the Vice is now finished.
Oh,
Now,
stick.
Sight the Vice is more of a single target controller. So if there's somebody who's dealing too much damage when it comes to fights, too much disable, something like that, like at this point, you'd look at Dwarven Sniper being your focus target. But I just want to find a random hero in the middle of nowhere that I can find and kill. Just because I want to play with him a little bit. So I'm going to put the Sight the Vice up there. BTs can go off to the side, and we're going to jump up this one before he dies. Alright, so let's get away. I want to find someone inside the jungle. And you're going to see, this is just how insane a Tinker can be with rearm. It's a very, very simple combination to have, really. Is there nobody here? I want to try and find two of them together because it's still able to allow me to do so. Now, in fact, there's 3 here in the middle lane. They're all grouping up, so we're going to rearm and head down bot.
Rearming.
This is going to be the easiest thing. Even jumping behind the tower is going to make this worth it.
Tinkering about.
Alright, so he did that, but we do this. So we hex him, rearm, again, and hex again. And you can keep doing this combination to your heart's content.
Very well.
And this is how you permanently disable somebody. So easy to do. And now, I've had my dose, I'm fine. I'll TP back to base and everything's all hunky-dory.
Right there.
Another fun item which you can get up on Tinker, and this is something which has been used as well, and again, this is building towards the Dendi build. The Shiva's Guard, it can work with it. It can work with it. The reason why BKB, I haven't actually looked at, and I probably should talk about BKB right now. This is the original reason why Tinker went out of fashion. So I'm going to give myself a crap ton of gold and buy a BKB. Now, I'm going to use up all of my abilities if I can find somebody. In fact, let's just go bot lane and use it there. So I'll just rearm and head down there now.
This goes here.
Really? 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 Ah, yeah, I did it. You knew it was going to happen.
What was this?
But rearm and do it all over again. All right. So I'm going to use all my abilities. So bump. I'm going to blink. I'm going to force staff. I'm going to Shiva's Guard.
My sense.
And I'm going to BKB. So everything's now on cooldown. Now on a rearm. Everything comes off cooldown by your BKB. Now this, the reason why this was such a huge, huge change on Tinker, and the reason why he stopped being played, and the only reason why he really came back is because the split push is now in favor in the World of Dota 2.
Proceed.
The reason why this is such a huge thing is because BKB,
Are you
if I'm going to get stunned,
I'm thinking.
if I'm going to get stunned on BKB, if I'm going to get stunned when I'm trying to retreat out, like force staff is the way it's now done. You force staff and you blink away and no one can catch up to you and then you just TP back to base. But if I don't have that kind of maneuverability and I get caught out by someone, say like a Bane
Settle.
or a VS stun or something like that, someone who can cancel my stun, then a BKB is what protects me. But I can't always use the BKB, I'll have to recreate it every single time. So you don't have that magic immunity, which means you don't have that non-stop can't counter presence on the lane. Which is why BKB is generally not picked up by Tinkers these days.
Very well.
Most of the time, in fact, you're seeing of a bit of a latest fashion is a Yule Scepter. A Yule being one of the original creators of Dota.
Tinkering about.
And we got ourselves a nice little curry. Yeah, we do, but no one's spent the money. I made it a flying courier, so we're going to do that. So let's grab up our items on the courier. I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. And we'll send him up towards the top lane. Looks like my top lane might want my help in a moment, but it'll be fine.
I'm in complete agreement.
Now, the reason why I still also have an activated WTF mode is because you don't need to with Tinker. Tinker is, as I said, a bit of a calculation hero. You got to work out. Now, this is a late game build. So these team fights which you'll be facing at this point when you get a Tinker of this level and these items, you're looking about 50 minutes into the game, at least. So let's just finish up that Yule Scepter and you can transfer that over. All right, so
Time to
50 seconds in the game.
reset
Want that there. Sweet. Cool.
the
So,
flag. Absolutely.
the amount of abilities you would pop off right now, we're going to do it again on the bottom lane. So I'm going to TP bot. Now I want a Hex,
Money.
I want a Yules, I want a Shivas,
Ready.
I want to force start myself out, and then I want to blink back over again, and then I want to rearm and do all over again. My mana regen is quite insane right now, but I'm able to do all this kind of stuff.
Tinkering
And it's pretty easy. I want a rocket, I want a laser, I want to Martian machines, I want a blink dagger again, I want to rearm, and you're going to keep on doing all this kind of stuff. And I just want to keep using up my mana, just because all this kind of stuff, you can do it. It's easy enough. Let's go rockets, we'll go Martian machines again, and look how much mana I've now got left. I'm pretty low. One hex, and hello, that's a little bit too many for me. But I'm able to fall back there.
My sentiments.
And then TP back to base. But my mana pool was starting to run out. And all this spam you can just keep on letting out, but you've got to work out when you're going to run out of mana. That's why a lot of Tinkers like to hold on to their Soul Ring or Bottle until very, very late in the game, because that last burst of mana, which allows you to TP back to base or do something like this, because while you're doing all these combinations, you're not using your BTs again. You're popping off rockets, you're going to pop off lasers, you're going to pop off Martian machines, but every single time, you're popping off your rearm. And that means that your BTs are off cooldown. You have to worry about that. All you need is that burst mana of 75, which gets you back to your base. But when you're at this point, all you've really got to do is buy yourself maybe 5 seconds. if that. And you'll have 75 mana, because your mana regen will just be so intense. So it becomes a more maneuverable kind of play, how you want to run with that. So that is basically the core concept of Tinker. Just look through your items and see what is refreshed. The real core of Tinker is actually not with the Shiva's Guard. That is not actually the Dendi build. I promise you I was going to show you the Dendi build, and I'm going to show you that right now. And in fact, it is the Lincoln Sphere is what you want. So we want a Lincoln Sphere. Courier, what are you doing? You're going to fly something up there for the person? Really, really great. You can do that, and we'll send him back down here. So what I want is Aussie Orb. This little guy to pick up that and that. And we'll send him back to base with all post haste. So the coolest thing about this is, now, as a Tinker, you want to stand in fights. Now, I've just brought up an Ultimate Orb, I brought up Health Regen, I brought up Mana Regen, and it's all in the place of a Lincoln Sphere. Now, the cool thing about this is, I want to go on this mid lane. Now, I got 4 people here in this mid lane, so let's just do this. I could possibly die right now, but who gives 2 hoots? In we go, and they'll initiate on me. Wait for them to pop the Lincoln Sphere. They will, and okay, I'm just going to stand right here and deal as much damage to them as possible and just kill them off. No one has done a single, there we go, finally Lincoln's going to pop. And normally, that initiation would nail me. Lincoln Sphere, you also notice too, I hit my rearm, and it didn't rearm the Lincoln Sphere, but it doesn't matter. Your mana regen and your stat points are high enough with the Lincoln Sphere that you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, because it's only 20 seconds. Every 20 seconds, you block a spell that is cast on you. And it's during that initial initiation which comes out, which you have to worry about. By that time, you go, well, awesome. Initiating on me, let me force, let me blink. What are you going to do? I'm out of position by now. By the time they've already realized that you are going on them. So that is how you get yourself away as a Tinker, escaping yourself to that wonderful, wonderful world of safety that no one will ever really go up against you for. Hello, we're going to have some fun here. So I'll send one up. Let's just rearm again. Let me just keep doing this. Master Machines. He'll come back out again, and we'll send him in. Yule Scepter up in the air. Another layer of Martial Machines. Sounds good. But this is the fun you can have as a Tinker. Because there's very few heroes that can stand up against this. If you catch one person out of position, then you've got this. And we go rearm again. And we're like, sup, what's up? And that's just that kind of pressure you can add. And someone was down here just before. Also, you notice too, a lot of players will have more hotkeys than I do. At this point, I've only got my top 3 slots actually hotkeys, so that's why you see me click on my spells. That's most of the time because I don't go heroes which require a lot of items, or at least not activatable items. I go a lot more support kind of build. And whoops, I lost sight of him. You notice that too just then? And there's my Lincoln. So he just tried to nightmare me, and I get myself away. But you notice too, I lost vision of him. I come back to this little spot. So I was on one side of the tree and he was on the other. And I popped my rockets, and that was that whole I don't have vision. It didn't hit. One of those moments where you just got to facepalm yourself and go, you know what? All I needed to be was have enough vision on the other side of there, and I would have been fine. But not the case in this one. That's going to actually end our LearnDOTA video for today. That's our Tinker focus. Whenever you play Tinker, try and do new and inventive things. Find these items which you can come off cooldown. Yule Scepter was not always the standard build for a Tinker. It's only recently come into the play because it's a good counter to the Lone Druid Bear. Because he has that Radiance, he'll have the AC on him, the Assault Cuirass that is, and you're like, well, I'm getting burnt, I'm getting auraed down. This just does not work for me. So you Yule Scepter him up in the air, and the effect is gone. So that's where Tinker has really been starting to come in. With this Lone Druid push power, Tinker is the answer to it all. The answer to everything, well, hopefully we can keep giving it to you here at LearnDOTA. As always, remember, if you have a question which you want to have answered, please put it in the comment section below. I will answer it in my next video I record after I see your comment. So yes, put it on either the Razer Academy website, which you can check out, and check out all the other Razer Academy content, which does come out from there, or over on the YouTube channel called The Cult of Razer. It is where Razer post up all their videos over there. So myself, Toby1, saying farewell to all of you. I hope to see you over on the defense live stream. Big thanks again to Razer for making sure they sponsored that one. So I'm keeping these guys in the background, as well as keeping all the wonderful branding there for everybody out there. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will catch you all on the next Learn Dota.